Welcome to the biology lesson on cell structure and function. In this lesson, you will learn about cell and cell theory, components of the cell, the cytoplasm and the cell organelles, nucleus, the hereditary organelle, and cell division. Let's start by exploring the major components of a cell. Cells are like tiny factories with their own structures and functions. They have three main components: the plasma membrane, the cytoplasm, and the DNA. The plasma membrane acts as the cell's outer boundary, like a gatekeeper. It controls what goes in and out of the cell. Next, we have the cytoplasm, which is like the cell's jelly-like filling. It's where all the action happens. And finally, we have the DNA, the cell's genetic material. It's like the instruction manual for the cell's activities, passed down from generation to generation. Now, let's talk about the differences between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells, like those in plants and animals, are like mansions with many specialized rooms. On the other hand, prokaryotic cells, found in bacteria, are like tiny studio apartments. Moving on, let's explore the differences between plant and animal cells. Plant cells have an additional feature, the cell wall. It provides support and protection. Now, let's get to the plasma membrane. It's like a fluid mosaic model, made up of various molecules like phospholipids and proteins, floating around and interacting with each other. The plasma membrane has many important functions. It regulates the movement of small molecules in and out of the cell. First, we have diffusion, where molecules move from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. Then, there is osmosis, which is all about the movement of water across the membrane. It's like a game of tug-of-war between cells and water molecules. Active transport is like an energy pump, requiring energy to move molecules against their concentration gradient. When it comes to transporting large molecules, cells use endocytosis and exocytosis. Endocytosis is engulfing, while exocytosis is like releasing waste with the outside world. Let's explore the mitochondria. They are like tiny powerhouses inside our cells. They have an outer membrane and a folded inner membrane, creating more surface area for energy production. Think of them as the energizers of the cell. It produces energy for the cell in the form of ATP, just like a power station provides electricity to a city. So, next time you feel energized, thank your mitochondria. Now, let's meet the chloroplasts. They are like mini solar panels inside plant cells. They contain a green pigment called chlorophyll that helps capture sunlight. Now, here is an interesting fact. While mitochondria produce energy, chloroplasts make food through photosynthesis. They convert sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide into glucose and oxygen. Let's move on to the endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, and ribosomes. They work together like a production line inside our cells. Imagine a factory where raw materials enter, get processed, and transformed into finished products. And the Golgi body is like the packaging and shipping department. It receives proteins from the endoplasmic reticulum, modifies them, and sends them off to their final destinations within or outside the cell. Time to meet the lysosomes. They are like the recycling centers of the cell, breaking down waste materials and recycling them into useful substances. Intracellular digestion by lysosomes is crucial for cell health. The cells need lysosomes to keep everything tidy and functional. Now, let's talk about cilia and flagella, the amazing cell organelles responsible for cell movement. Cilia are tiny hair-like structures that help move substances along the cell's surface. They can be found in our respiratory tract, helping to sweep away dust particles. Flagella are similar but longer and help cells move in a whip-like motion. Last but not least, we have centrioles and basal bodies, the directors of cell division. They organize the cell's dance moves when it's time to make new cells. They ensure everything happens in perfect harmony. Today, we will learn about nucleus, the hereditary organelle that serves as the control center of the cell. The nucleus makes sure that everything is running smoothly. The nucleus has some key players. The nuclear membrane acts as the bodyguard, protecting the nucleus and controlling what goes in and out. Inside the nucleus, we find chromatin, which is like a library filled with books called genes. These genes contain instructions for making proteins, the building blocks of life. Also, the nucleolus. It's the busy factory where ribosomes, the protein-making machines, are produced. Without ribosomes, our cells would be like a bakery without bakers. Now, let's talk about the molecules that make up the cell. Water, the ultimate thirst quencher, is the most abundant molecule in our bodies. It keeps our cells hydrated and functioning. Elements necessary for life, like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, are the essential building blocks of biomolecules. Now, let's meet the biomolecules. Carbohydrates are the energy-packed sugars, like the fuel that keeps us going. Amino acids are the protein puzzle pieces that build and repair our cells. Nucleic acids, like DNA and RNA, are the information superhighways. They carry our genetic instructions. Lipids, also known as fats, act as the cell's bodyguards. They protect the cell and provide insulation. Vitamins, which is also the nutrition, help our bodies function properly. They are working behind the scenes to keep us healthy and strong. Hormones, the messengers of the body, tell our cells what to do. They are like text messages sent by the brain to different parts of our body, keeping everything in sync. And finally, we have alkaloids and steroids. Alkaloids bring excitement and change the mood of the cell, while steroids boost performance and help with growth and development. Now, let's understand the journey of a cell from birth to division. The cycle has two main phases, interphase and dividing phase. During interphase, the cell grows, carries out its normal functions, and duplicates its DNA. Next comes the dividing phase, where the magic of cell division happens. There are two kinds of cell division, mitosis and meiosis. Let's start with mitosis. Mitosis is like a cell's superpower. It helps cells grow, repair damaged tissues, and replace old cells. It consists of several stages, each with its own unique characteristics. First up is prophase, the beginning of the show. Picture early prophase as a cell's superhero costume fitting perfectly. The DNA condenses, and the nuclear envelope disappears. As we move to middle prophase, the chromosomes become visible. Think of them as the cell's colorful fireworks, ready to light up the nucleus. In late prophase, the mitotic axis starts to catch and put together the chromosomes. Now it's time for metaphase. The chromosomes align perfectly in the middle, waiting for their cue to divide. And suddenly, it's anaphase, the great separation. The chromosomes split and move towards opposite ends of the cell, like a high-speed chase. In telophase, two new nuclei form, and the cell starts to pinch in the middle, ready to split. Finally, cytokinesis takes place, completing the cell division process. Now, enters meiosis, the specialized cell division for reproduction. It occurs in specific cells and involves two rounds of division. Meiosis 1 kicks off with prophase 1, the party where homologous chromosomes come together, creating a diverse gene pool. Leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotene, and dikinesis are the stages where the chromosomes align, swap genes, and prepare for the main event. Anaphase 1 sets the chromosomes free, as they race to separate and embark on different paths, like contestants in a genetic competition. In telophase 1, the cells take a breather and prepare for round 2. The nucleus reforms, and we gear up for meiosis 2. Prophase 2 marks the beginning of the second act. The chromosomes condense again, ready for their performance. Metaphase 2 brings the second lineup of chromosomes, now in individual pairs, preparing for their final separation. And in anaphase 2, the chromosomes split apart and head towards their respective endings. With telophase 2, the division concludes. 4 new cells are formed, each with a unique genetic combination, ready to carry the legacy forward. And with that, we wrap up this informative lesson. For additional information on this lesson, please look at the content below the video in the online course. To get a list of the important questions and their answers for this lesson, please refer to the guidebook by our publications provided to you with this course for free. It shows you a list of all the questions that have the highest chance of coming in your next exams based on research carried out on previous year question papers. All the best, and I will see you in the next lesson.